So, I have just seen the 10th episode of Star Wars: The Bad Batch, titled Common Ground. So yeah, and I'm going to review it. So yeah, now quick heads up guys, just so you know, my best friend Operan Sister, who likes to review these episodes with me, will once again not be taking part in this review because, for those of you that are unaware, he is currently on holiday in the lovely city of Tomsk. And today he's really busy because he is preparing for his journey back home. So yeah, he's really busy. But yeah, if he wants to share his thoughts, then you know, by all means, Alexander, you can do that by commenting below if you want to. So yeah. Anyway, cue the intro. Alright, so I'm going to review this episode, guys. So yeah, so right off the bat, I gotta say this episode was very different in terms of tone to the previous two episodes. It was very different. Had a bit of a lighter tone, really, to be honest. But yeah, let's talk about it. So the episode begins on the planet Raxus. So yeah, now when I hear the name Raxus, it makes me think of the junkyard planet called Raxus Prime. But in this episode, it's the planet Raxus itself, which appears to be like a peaceful, civilized planet from the look of things. And so, of course, the Empire, as you can see in this episode, occupies it. And it's led by a female Imperial officer called Captain Bragg. I think she was called Captain Bragg. And they're announcing, you know, a curfew and that it's been taken over, and the civilians are angry about this. And she orders the senator of the place, I think it's called Raxus Secundus, the city it is, yeah. And she summons the senator called R.V. Singh, I think he's called. And she orders him to publicly support the Empire, but he refuses to support them, and as a result gets arrested. And Bragg orders the Imperial troops to move in to seize the city. But however, he subtly orders his protocol droid, who I believe was called GS8, a female protocol droid, had a similar head design to 4A7 from the Clone Wars movie. But yeah, it's a different droid, you know, mainly because it's female and it's a slightly different design, yeah. And GS8 contacts Sid, and she informs Sid of the situation and that, you know, and Senator Singh needs rescuing. Now, one thing I picked up on with R.V. Singh was the way his hat was designed. I thought for a second it was Panaka from The Phantom Menace, but he was older. But when I listened to her voice, I was thinking, nah, that can't be Panaka. It doesn't sound like Hugh Quarshie. So after I finished watching the episode, I looked up the voice, and it's an actor called Alexander Siddig, who, for those you don't know, I actually know him for playing Doran Mantell in Game of Thrones, which is pretty cool. And I do believe he's also in the Gotham show as Ra's al Ghul, I believe, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so yeah, pretty cool to have a familiar face in this. And I do believe that the droid called GS8 is voiced by an actress called Sian Clifford. Never heard of her though, but yeah, this is the first time I've ever heard her. But yeah, now on to Ord Mantell, we get to see the Bad Batch, and they're walking through the town, heading towards Sid's bar, and Omega's eating some sort of snack. It looks like the Ord Mantell equivalent of popcorn, but it was like a pink sort of snack. It looked pretty nice, actually. I wonder if, you know, Galaxy's Edge will ever do that one day as like a snack, maybe, to try. So Omega's asking what her next mission will be, but Tech reminds her that they're being tailed by two bounty hunters and advises that it will be best to keep a low profile. Hunter agrees to this because there's too much heat on the group at the moment. And Wrecker says that such pressure has not stopped them before, but Hunter argues that Omega has been through a lot and she needs a break, which is understandable, yeah, because she was kidnapped, caused by Cad Bane in episode 8. Now, in Sid's bar, Sid gives them a new mission, which is to extract Singh from the capturing on Raxus. And Hunter doesn't really want to do this because Singh is a former separatist. But Sid reminds them that their debt is still not paid, and Hunter argues that taking Omega to Raxus is far too dangerous due to the Imperial occupation of it. And Sid wants to look after Omega, and Omega doesn't want to leave because she wants to go on a mission because she considers herself part of the squad. But Hunter says that as part of the squad, you will obey orders. So Omega is a bit, you know, upset that she's got to stay behind. So yeah, and she stays with Sid. And the squad then goes to Raxus, where they land on a planet outside the city, and they meet GS8, who reveals that she's the one that contacted them, and that they need help. So yeah, and they enter the city. One thing I will say about the city, guys, when you look at it at the start, I like the city design a lot. I mean, I think they took inspiration from Minas Tirith in the Lord of the Rings trilogy by Peter Jackson, and also from the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. It reminded me an awful lot of that for some reason, guys. But yeah, it was very nicely designed. Now, while they're rescuing Senator Singh in the city, Omega is pretty bored because she's got to scrub, the services of the bar, which she's pretty bored by, which she's sort of to do as her job. But then she notices two of the patrons playing a game of Dejarik. You know that Star Wars equivalent of chess where it's holograms fighting? Yeah. And Sid asks Omega if she knows how to play the game, and Omega says yes, so she lets Omega play the game. So that's what happens in the bar while the Bad Batch is rescuing Senator Singh. So the Bad Batch infiltrate the city, and they use GS8, the droid, as a way of distraction from the clones which are patrolling the streets. They use her as like a distraction, to get the clones' attention so they can, lure them into the shadows to kill them, which is actually pretty clever. And then they infiltrated the city, and they have to enter through. I think it's inside the buildings to find the senator, and eventually, after fighting their way stealthily through several clones, they find the senator, is being interrogated, and Captain Bragg brings in, that torture droid from A New Hope? Yeah, she brings that in, and it's about to stab him with a needle to torture him. I mean, I don't know if she was trying to torture him or to kill him or not, but yeah. But luckily, before that can happen, the Bad Batch rescues the senator, and by using stun grenades to take down Captain Bragg and her guards. So they rescue the senator and they have to escape. But the bad news is, the clones, which have occupied the city, have those walkers as weaponry and patrolling. So that was, pretty dangerous. So we got to fight our way through that. And we got some pretty nice, very well visualised battles in this sequence. It was really good, very well visualised in my opinion. Like, many shots felt like live action. It was very well visualised in this battle. It was brilliant. And so yeah, and they do fight their way through, but it's a bit of a struggle because there's more and more clones show up and soon they get outnumbered. But luckily they're able to, get inside a walker and destroy the bottom of the ground to get through it. And they're able to escape the city through the catacombs, while the clones above assume that the walker is empty. So yeah, so that was a pretty clever way to escape, and then they successfully get back to their ship. Senator Singh is a bit reluctant to leave because he doesn't want to leave his people, which is understandable because he's the leader. He doesn't want to leave his people behind. But I think Echo says to him, live today, fight another day. So yeah, so that's a pretty nice thing to say. Yeah, saying that you may have to leave today, but you can still fight for your people the following day. So they leave the planet, and then when they return to Ord Mantell with the senator, they then enter Sid's bar to discover that Omega is literally beating loads and loads of patrons at Dejarik. She's actually a really good player at Dejarik, which is pretty cool. Hunter is very disappointed that she didn't follow his order to, keep quiet and, keep her head down due to the fact that, Cad Bane and Fennec are pursuing her. But Sid tells Hunter to leave her alone, saying that, she helped her a lot. And eventually Hunter decides, fair enough and stuff like that. And the episode then ends with Hunter and Omega starting to play a game of Dejarik. I mean, I wonder who'd win in that fight. We didn't really see who won Dejarik between them, but yeah. Maybe episode 11 might show who's going to win or not. So yeah. But all in all though, guys, this was a very enjoyable episode to watch. Like I said, it was very differently toned compared to the previous 2 episodes. And I was hoping we'd see Cad Bane again because he's my favourite, Corey Burton Star Wars character. And I was hoping we'd see him again, but sadly not. So hopefully we might see him again, in later episodes. But at least he was mentioned as being one of the bounty hunters pursuing Omega. So it looks like his story's not done yet. So yeah, we might see him again in episode 11 maybe, called Devil's Deal. Maybe. Or maybe someone else might appear, maybe a new antagonist. But yeah, this episode was really good and had a great cast as well. Like I said, I like the addition of, of Alexander Siddiq as Senator R.V. Singh, and also Sian Clifford as GS8, the protocol droid. Once again, loved Rhea Perlman as Sid. It's my favourite role of hers. She was brilliant in the role. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, so guys, this was me reviewing Star Wars: The Bad Batch Series 1, Episode 10, titled Common Ground. So, you know, drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to leave more comments what you guys thought of today's episode of you seen it. Also, as well, like at the start of the video, I mentioned Alexander couldn't join me, but yeah, guys, please be sure to go subscribe to him and give him some support because he deserves it. So yeah, the links to the channel will be down in the description for you guys. Go subscribe to him because he deserves some support. He's an amazing guy, does great content that you'll never regret watching. So yeah, also be sure to join Team Plan by pressing subscribe for more videos coming in the future, and may the Force be with you always.